I have the feeling that I'm going to have to save somebody's life someday. That's what my brother said. My name is Tyson Hyam, and I'm going to tell you about my identical twin brother, Brock. Brock was a self-starter. He was always a very motivated person, and he was competitive. As we got old enough to start working at my parents' business, Brock's paycheck always seemed to have just a few dollars more than mine. As we reached high school age, that competitiveness began to run over into other things, like sports. We grew up playing tennis. Our rivalry became so intense that my parents made us play together as a doubles team rather than against each other, competing for our school's top single spot. This decision turned out to be a good one as we took the state title our junior year. Brock and I decided sometime during our high school years that we needed to be more buff. I remember sometimes at night, while trying to go to sleep, I'd hear grunting from the other room. I'd walk out of my room, and I'd see Rocky doing some variation of one-arm push-ups. I'd say, "Brock, shouldn't you get some sleep? You've already worked out 3 times today." He told me something that I'll never forget. He said, "I just have a feeling that I'm going to have to save somebody's life someday." Now, when he said this, I had the image of him running into a burning building and carrying out an entire family on his back, or perhaps fighting off an entire gang with his bare hands, just to save an old lady or something heroic of that nature. It turns out that the life that he would be saving would be his own. On December 11th, 2002, Brock underwent surgery to fix his right wrist. For some reason, his radius had grown just a few centimeters too long, and it was pinching a blood vessel that fed a small bone in his hand. This was causing that bone to die, and with it, he was losing some function in that hand. The surgery was supposed to be a routine one. They would shorten the bone, and in a couple of months, he would be 100%. That was the plan anyway. After the surgery, they had Brock stay overnight for pain management. He was hooked up to an IV with some painkiller. Something had gone wrong with that IV and that painkiller. We still don't quite know what. Brock's body was dying. His physical conditioning was so good that his body survived despite only having a very small amount of oxygen. His conditioning was comparable to that of a professional athlete. Brock received some brain damage because of that surgery, but his hard work and determination to get better truly was and still is an inspiration to others. He had to do things like learn to walk and talk again, to use his hands, but he approached his therapies with that same determination and Rocky mentality.
My name is Brock Hyam. I have what's known as secondary Parkinson's. It makes talking very difficult, as well as walking and eating and writing and tying my shoes, getting dressed, showering, running. I can't jump at all. Basically, it makes everything very difficult and very slow. So, my boys, they don't know anything different. So, I mean, as far as they know, I'm normal, I guess.
We were married in 2009, and we met like 7 months prior. So that's how much later after your injury it was. Some people, they think that I met Brock and then he had his injury and I still married him. I don't know why people assume that. He just likes to make life fun, I guess, and he's always busy. He's not like somebody who's handicapped and stays at home and just lives off the government. He wants to be a man who lives for himself and brings the bacon home. So he's ambitious. He still gets medals. He goes and does the half marathon with OUR. We go every year. We just did it this year. He does it on his tricycle.
Although the first year I walked the whole thing.
And it took 11 and a half. Was it 11 and a half hours it took you? He walked the whole thing. I thought he was going to die. A lot of people take walking for granted. I know I do. But Brock can't even do. He can't run. He can't jump. There's a lot of things he can't do. But he's able to outthink a lot of people. He's always finding ways to be healthier because he knows that he's at a huge disadvantage as far as his own health goes.
I don't eat meat or dairy or
He
wheat.
mostly doesn't eat. He usually has a smoothie.
I eat mostly raw veggies, fruits.
Usually in the mornings we'll have smoothies, and it consists of like bananas, mangoes, a lot of kale that we harvested from our garden, chia seeds, flax, grapefruit oil. A lot of times there'll be berries in it, but that's mostly what Brock likes to have. I can't be around depressing people. Brock's not a depressing person. Sometimes he feels depressed because he feels defeated by his injury some days when he has no energy, but those days don't happen very often because he eats so healthy. He has a positive outlook and just always thinks the best possible outcome when he is working towards something, and doesn't let doubts get in the way.
I've always felt like I was the Lord's favorite son because He's given me such an amazing story to tell. I feel so blessed to have had so many trials in my life, because someday when we die, we will be asked to tell our story, and not many people will be able to have such an amazing story to tell. When we die, the question will become, who did we forgive? And I can also say that I have forgiven